Hello. Uh, just playing some Destiny 2. Going to, I'm just going to, I'm gonna go and try to get the parasite. Can you track it, please? Contacting Destiny 2 servers, okay. Okay, let's just go to Cyberthings Throne World. You know, just some chill gaming. Just some chill gaming. I think what I'm not gonna do like the overly, like, over the top type shit, you know. Listen, I'm gonna try not to do the over the top reactions or the over the top intros, because honestly, I kinda, like, a YouTuber can do that, you know. I got no problem with it, but I just kinda find it annoying, you know. But there are some YouTubers that I do give a pass to. Stampy Cat, Markiplier, Dan Jacksepticeye. And I'm biased just because I grew up watching them. Can you die? Thanks. So yeah, just some chill gaming, you know. Just wanna let it be laid back and relax. You know, just talking about stuff. Uh, so apparently there's like a docu-series, a documentary show, or something like that, where it's like the struggles in living in California and how the crime rate is up and housing is difficult. Well, I just want to say, as a person that lives in California, I live in Burbank, and I live in an apartment, and I don't really find that much struggle. Like, sure, there has been incidents of, like, yeah, there has been, like, some crime. There has been some crime, like, one time where there was, like, I got home from Universal. Well, like, I was close to my apartment, and what ended up happening was that there was cop cars nearby the 7-Eleven that me and my friend would hang out at, you know, after school, and apparently it got robbed. Like, I'm not saying California is, like, perfect, like, which state is perfect, you know, but like, which state is perfect, you know. But there was also a different 7-Eleven that ended up getting robbed. And one time I was outside, one time there was, like, apparently sirens outside. It was right across the park. It was at a park that I live right across from. Apparently these two guys were getting arrested because apparently they were trying to steal someone's car. Which is, why are you gonna try to steal someone's car or even break into someone's car? You know? And sure, gas prices are very expensive. It's like, you know, gas prices in California, and that's an issue. But again, it's still, it even has gone up even more since the whole, Russian dude Or, well, fucking Putin, you know, Ukraine shit. It's like, what did Ukraine do to you, you know? Just leave them alone, they're just existing. And it's just like... And so Russia has a bunch of oil. You know, it's... It's just a whole weird thing. But it's also like, why make a documentary about people moving out of California? And also, homelessness, yeah, it's also a problem in Cal. It is. That's because apparently a lot of homeless people go to California. I wouldn't blame them. Like, sure, California will have its off days on weather, but it's mostly good. Mostly. Yeah. But there's also states in America where you could actually be doing a documentary or a docu-series or a docu-show on, you know, like Ohio, you know, or Texas, or New York. And it's weird, you know. But it is kind of weird that a lot of people are moving out of New York, not New York, California. But honestly, it's like, if you live in like, I wouldn't blame someone like wanting to move out of California. I wouldn't. And I have no say about someone's living conditions. You know, I don't have that right. And I'm not judging anybody that would want to move out of California. But why have a documentary series about California? Just because like people are moving out? Like they want to go to a different, they want to live in a different state? Yeah, because apparently wanting to live in a different state besides California requires a documentary series. Yeah. But all jokes aside with Ohio, I would actually want to see a documentary about it, you know? Because, like, the whole, like, train chemical things, I want to know, like, what's happening with them. Or what about New York? Because, like, apparently there's a wildfire happening in Canada right now. So why won't we get something like that? You know, there's a lot of different things that we could have a documentary series on that's besides of California, you know. But again, I have no say. Like yeah, there's crime. There is crime in California, but there's also crime in a bunch of other places. But besides that, it's just weird. I find it weird. 57. Also, I have a question about the fucking about queens and worms, because we're getting a gun called the Parasite, a grenade. Sorry, the grenade launcher called the Parasite. Why do we have to kill? Why do we have to kill the Scorn? Why do we have to kill us? Why do we have to kill Scorn? You know, like, why not just kill the Hive? Because a gun called the Parasite, you know, I'm thinking, like, why not the Hive instead of Scorn? It's just, I don't know. I don't know about a lot of things. And I'm still learning about a lot of things, but that's okay. You should learn it. You should be curious about a lot of stuff. You should always ask questions, but don't ask too many questions. You know? Especially if you get mixed in with the wrong crowd. Like, questions can be okay, but there's a certain extent to where maybe asking too many questions could get you hurt. I don't know. Maybe that's just a mobster thing. You know? But, again, if someone tells you to, like, stop asking too many questions, then it's just best to ease it off, just for your safety and the safety of other people, you know? But it's still good to be curious. Now, there's a saying that I like. Curiosity killed the cat. But the rest of that was... But it gets cut off. So, you know, the saying, curiosity killed the cat. But the rest of that saying is, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. You should always be curious about a lot of things. Be curious. Ask questions. You know? If there's something that you're curious about, then, like, if you're curious on how, like, how did the pyramids get built? Then, that's a question to ask. You know? That's definitely something that you should look into. But just stay away from conspiracy theories. You know? Be curious. Ask questions. But sometimes don't ask too many questions. You know? There's a certain extent. I'm thinking about, like, doing more of this type of gaming and doing more commentary while playing gaming. You know, just, you know, being chill. Having a moderate voice, you know. We should use our inside voices. You know, one time I wanted to go back to, I want to feel nostalgic, and I ended up playing Mind Singing Monsters. But when I used to play it as a little kid, I just thought of it as a game, but I didn't really take it in as a whole. But then after, it was just like, the concept of Mind Singing Monsters is truly a fascinating one, because you're using monsters to make you're using monsters to make an entire orchestra, you know? And it's like, the more monsters you have, the better the music will be. You know? It's a really cool idea. And the fact that the castle in Mind Singing Monsters can actually play music as well, and having a bass line, he's really nice. And I also like music. I also like history as well. You know, music is really cool and history is really cool. I'm a huge advocate for teaching history because how are we supposed to learn from this? It's like if we can learn from bad parts of history, you know, we could see it as, well, kind of mistakes, but not necessarily. It's kind of weird how it's kind of weird. It's more like, um, it's more like we should learn about these things that happened, you know. We should learn. And one thing that I'm really disappointed in is that the because I love history. I always want to learn about it, but I've learned about some really crazy bad shit, crazy history. Like there was a war started over soccer or football, depending on what country you live in outside of the U.S. Over soccer, there was an entire war. And did you know that Australia had a war with emus? Like when I'm telling you, I'm like I love history. I'll learn all sorts of types of history. And I'm also kind of curious about the history of Scientology, which is honestly the on how L. Ron Hubbard described humans. I'm surprised that people can actually believe in Scientology. I'm really surprised that people believe in it. Because L. Ron Hubbard wrote sci-fi fiction novels, you know. It's kind of interesting. And honestly, you can believe in what you believe in, but it's don't hurt anybody. Don't like the one thing that you shouldn't do is like don't push your ideals onto someone and don't say, well, your beliefs are inferior to mine because you don't believe in the same thing that I do. Don't do that, you know? But again, back to the history thing. It's like, ninth grade, one day we were learning about the Armenian Holocaust. And I was actually kind of disappointed because, it was like Turkey, the Turkish government, was outlining the teaching of the Armenian Holocaust. I think they blame the Armenians for it or some shit like that, but it saddens me and it disappoints me that there are people in the world that will try to prevent learning opportunities and teachings of history. History should be taught. You know, there's no such thing as just pure good. There's always the good and the bad, but you also forget about the gray as well. There are some gray areas. Like in World War II, you know, America, well, like let's look at America. We took we had like an atomic bomb, okay? And what atomic bombs do, they can destroy an entire city, and they can make that area uninhabitable for years to come. You know? Uh, you know, it's... But instead of launching one, which is more than enough, right? We did it 2 times. And that's not really a good thing to do, you know. We destroyed 2 cities, but you also gotta think about that we used a weapon that was capable of not leaving a body behind, but just leaving imprints of those people. I think there's a, if you look up, I think there's some pictures of Hiroshima and Nagasaki where it's just like, you'll see like these black humanoid figures, but those are people that died, and it's not going to be to the extent of adults. It's not going to be the extent to men. It will be women and children. And who knows, maybe in that blast we even killed, no, most likely it probably killed newborns as well. And probably people who were like someone that found like newborns, you know? Like, sure, we are the Allied powers, but again, we used a weapon that is so dangerous that during the Cold War, that it was the most feared thing to happen. Having a nuclear, having nuclear annihilation, you know? And still having these weapons ready, available, it's kind of scary, and it kind of keeps me up at night, you know? You know, sometimes I'll just think about it, you know? I'll just think. And I'll just think how crazy it is that these weapons actually exist. But another thing about it, it wasn't even American scientists that created these weapons of nuclear annihilation and mass destruction. It was the help of Nazi scientists as well. And it was called Project Paperclip. It was basically, you help us further advance our weapons, and we won't do shit to you. And it's really interesting. You know? It's interesting to think about that we viewed these people as our enemies, but then they were now our allies to help defeat their own allies. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it sometimes. But again, it's like, we need to teach history. History is something that can't be overlooked. History is not something that should be locked away behind bars, being forever. History shouldn't be locked away forever behind a cell, you know. History needs to be taught at the end of the day. And also, look at the Soviet Unions as well. The Soviet Union. The Soviets, well, they used to be allies with Adolf Hitler, but Adolf Hitler decided to attack them. You know? Adolf Hitler, the Soviet Union was allies with the Axis power. They weren't always our allies. All it took was just one day for Adolf Hitler to... all it takes is just one moment that Adolf Hitler was like, you know what, I'm going to invade Russia and try to take it over. But you know what another thing I kind of am mad about is that you can't say Hitler on YouTube. You can't say his name on YouTube. And I don't know why. I don't know why. That's gonna be, well, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Bye.